Okay, folks, welcome to Best Stock Charts for the new trading week. This is Bob Desmond, and unfortunately tonight, no Sunday night futures because it is my anniversary. We were going to go out and celebrate on Saturday night, but we were hit over the past couple of days with two family emergencies that my wife is a nurse. They're both medical issues, and so she's going back and forth to two separate hospitals. So we're going to push it to Sunday night, and being tonight. And that does not mean that we're not going to be prepared for the new trading week. So how was our week last week? Well, I got bullish on natural gas. We're doing very well with that trade. I got bullish on Boeing, and we made some money on some call options, a call spread that I put on. And I didn't like the action of the market. So what I did is, rather than keep that call spread on, I put profits there and rotated into some additional common stock. So that way we can have a tight stop-loss order. It's very difficult to put stop-loss orders on option positions because you're going to get taken out. So that was the week. Overall, I think that this market has probably more upside to go, but there are so many hazards out there. Valuations, whether it be yield curve steepening, whether it be the debt, I mean, any number of things. But for right now, the path of least resistance remains higher. So a number of these trades are going to be bull trades. One is going to be I don't know. It's a good setup for either short or long, but the shares must do something first before I get bullish. But right now, I'm bearish. So, numbers, I've already done it. Sometimes I forget, but I've already done it. I posted the price targets, entry points, and stop loss points in the members area. If you're not currently a member, sign up 14-day free trial offer. We'll be using TrendSpider to do our analysis. If you like automated technical analysis, then get it for free with a silver and gold level membership. Let's kick things off with what we're going to be talking about, MCHP Technologies. Now, MCHP Technologies is a stock that we don't want to buy unless Bitcoin is going up. Highly correlated to Bitcoin. Now, this is a daily chart, and we'll throw up some indicators here. And what I want you to pay attention to is the fact that our primary trend is still to the downside. You could say neutral. We haven't made new lower lows since early August, and that's fine. I'm good with that. We're neutral, okay? But we're not in a primary uptrend. Therefore, we need to be very, very careful here. We really need to have an edge. What is that edge? The edge has got to be Bitcoin's got to be going up. Ideally, we have some seasonality in our favor. And by the way, I'm using TrendSpider for this. And this is the reason why it made it onto our watch list. September, not a good month for MCHP Technologies. However, October, November, to a lesser extent, December, very good months. So what we're looking at now as we scope out this chart is, what's our edge? Well, our edge is this. We can overlay automated trend lines and zoom in here on the main one. And you can see that on Thursday, we broke out above resistance. We closed off the lows, off the highs of the session on Friday. Now, what I want to see here is a continuation pullback and a retest of prior daily support. If we get that, then that would be our entry point. But as you can see above, we have a price target up here. And if we get executed where I would like to get executed, which is at this range here, this prior breakout point in green, I know that if it closes back down below that point, I stop out with a small loss. So I'm not a buyer of the shares right here, right now. They need to earn my investment dollar. What must that be? A pullback to daily support. Now, the next chart up that we'll be taking a look at is COHU. Now, COHU, very similar to MCHP Technologies in that it is still in a primary downtrend. However, I like it from the long side. So let's talk about the whys. Why do I like it so much? Well, we broke out on Thursday of last week, continuation move on Friday. What else do I like? Let's take this off. Let's overlay the indicators, and you can see, same as what we saw on MCHP Technologies, which I didn't talk about, but exists there. I'll go back to it in a moment. is a Bollinger Band squeeze. We have Bollinger Bands in red trading inside the Keltner channels. Now, my guess is that this is going to fire off to the upside. Is there a guarantee of that? No. And it makes it even all the more tricky to gauge which way this is going to fire off with the odds favoring bulls or a bullish move, because we are in a primary downtrend. However, is that what we've done here is we have stopped going down. Let's just do it this way. And you can see we broke out. We need to pull back and a retest. You could argue that we have an inverted head and shoulders set up, left shoulder, head, right shoulder forming. And once we get through this pivot point here, I would want to add more to the position. So what I need to get long of this stock right now is a pullback to support. And then what we would do is initiate a long position, set up our stop immediately below it. And once we begin to break out to new higher highs, and we're confident that we're now in a new uptrend, then we get bigger on the trade. But for now, we're just going to accumulate, cautious approach, wait for the Bollinger Band squeeze to fire off, and then let the magic of short covering rallies go to work for us. So that's COHU. Let's go back to MCHP for a moment, because I skipped over the setup for the Bollinger Band squeeze, and here you have it. A very, very tight Bollinger Bands. They usually trade outside the Keltner channels, which are reflected here in green on any stock or index. When they trade inside the Keltner channels, that means you have a lot of energy getting pent up, a tug of war, if you will, between bulls and bears, and somebody's going to win. So absent a big sell program coming in here, I think that the path of least resistance, especially if Bitcoin moves up higher, is up for microchip technologies. Now, moving on to our next chart, which is COPAY. Now, COPAY is interesting in that it is in a primary uptrend. That's always a good thing. Let's go to the monthly chart here. You can see, and we're at the precipice of breaking out to new all-time record highs. Why do I like that so much? Doesn't that mean I'm buying high? No. What that means is that we have a strong stock. We are treating it as such, and the value of a stock breaking out to new all-time record highs is that there's something called clear blue skies. What does that mean? It means there's no overhead supply. So yes, at current, we still have some overhead supply, but once we break out and above 329.65, which is the all-time high, look out above. I mean, this thing's going to take off. So let's go back to the daily chart for a moment, and let's talk about what we're seeing here. We're seeing a very, very tight consolidation. Hope I already drew that line. Let's get rid of that. Let's do this. And what do we have? A wedge formation. A very nice setup for a continuation breakout to the upside. What else do we have here? A Bollinger Band squeeze. Bollinger Bands in red inside the Keltner channels. We know that means there's a lot of energy. We're in a primary uptrend. Our moving averages are in the right direction, meaning short-term moving averages are above the longer-term moving averages. So the probability of this trade breaking out to the upside is very, very strong. And once we break out to new all-time highs, it's not going to take much volume to move the stock up measurably higher. So COPAY looking very, very good. And again, folks, if you're not a member, I posted my price targets, entry points, and stop loss points in the members area. It's already there. Also in the members area, I did the week ahead commentary strategy session. And if you're not ready to join up yet, at least join our forum, which is free, at current, free. And we have the Bulls and Bears Banter chat room. And of course, we have our feed. And here is Talon, always cooking, never stops. Awesome. That looks so good. All right, I digress. So it's a great community, great people. Sign up. It's free for now. It's not going to be free forever. So COPAY, what I want to see here is a breakout and a retest. I'm not ready to buy this yet. Could be tomorrow. Could be the next day. I want to see a breakout. Now, the next chart that I want to take a look at, Etsy. fact check me on this, I believe that Warren Buffett is buying up the shares. Now, Etsy, this of course is in a downtrend channel, and you may be saying, usually you're looking to trade stocks with a strategy that are near all-time highs. True, but I'm worried about the market. So I'm looking for stocks that are really beaten up. However, they're looking like they're getting ready for a short covering rally. And if they do break down, well, I know exactly where to have my stop, and there's probably not all too much downside left in these names because they've been beaten to death. So Etsy, I mean, the all-time high on this stock was back here at 307.49. Last tick was 57.14 per share. So there's not a lot of downside here. Now, on this monthly chart, we have traded outside of the downtrend channel. We have yet to put in higher highs and higher lows yet. We're not there yet. This is not an investment yet. To Warren Buffett it is, but that's his style. Let's go to the weekly chart. Weekly chart looking really, really good. We broke out last week above resistance and closed there. What do I want to see? Retracement. And then I want to put on a long bet. And the value of waiting until a stock retests what was prior resistance, now acting as support, is that you know exactly where you put your stop loss order. Immediately below, if it closes back down below that prior resistance level, now support level, and it closes there, you're out. That's the play. So you also have a Bollinger Band squeeze forming here on a weekly time frame. And when you go to the daily chart, you have another one, another Bollinger Band squeeze, which is already beginning to fire off. And you can see we've already broken out in the daily time frame here, pulled back and retested here, followed through to the upside. Good looking chart. All right, but I want to see a bit more weakness on the weekly chart. I want to see a retest of that weekly breakout point, and then we'll look to put on a long trade. Again, stop loss points, entry points, price targets are in the members area. Now, the last chart we're going to go over is Deckard. Now, very similar to the chart of Etsy, not in terms of price action on a historical basis. Obviously, Etsy has been in a bear market. But what's the same here is that on a weekly chart, you have a Bollinger Band squeeze forming. You also have one on a daily view. Right? This is sexy stuff. This is really, really good stuff. And let's go back to the monthly chart, actually the weekly chart for a moment. And you can see we're not that far off of all-time high. So if we broke out last week. I suspect we're going to get a retest this week. If we manage to rally and take out this prior high here, new all-time record high. And that means that, again, the stock can continue up even on very light volume because you have no overhead supply. So these are the stocks that I like going into the new trading week. Members, we'll be talking about them throughout the week. And once I execute a trade, of course, I will be posting it in the members area. I post when I enter a trade, exit a trade, add to the trade, or begin to scale out of a trade. Anything we do with that trade gets posted. And that's it, folks. Have an awesome, awesome remainder of your weekend and have a profitable trading week. Don't forget to join our forum. There's a link below on YouTube, a link above on Twitter. See you on the other side. Take care. Be well.